Elias was comfortable. His mind slowly, gently rose from a hand. He picked up her picture, gently swept his fingers along the glass, as if to brush away the hair that always fell in her face, then replaced it on the side table. It was time. As he moved to the bathroom, he snatched at bits of the lovely dream. It had been warm and sunny, but Florida was always warm and sunny. No, the dream was more complex than that. They were playing tennis on that old court behind the apartment complex. This time he ran to catch her as she fell. This time she was laughing in his arms. It had been wonderful. He washed his face and brushed his teeth, though there was no one to smell his morning breath. Elias moved out into the cheery yellow 1950s kitchen. His black towels and the lines of black tiles in the room reminded him of a demented bumblebee, but it wasn't worth the effort to change. Plus, his Kate would have laughed and made jokes every single morning. Breakfast was always water and plain oatmeal. When Elias found out how addictive salt, sugar, and caffeine were, he removed them from the diets of his Narconon students at the church, which meant none for him either. This was the place where he rededicated himself to his work each morning. The still, quiet room. The plain breakfast. He would do his best to make sure no one else had to bear the loss he did. It had started so simply. They were playing tennis. Kate had tripped on a crack in the pavement and had fallen on her outstretched arm. The sound had been so loud that people came from neighboring courts to help. The doctor had called it a Colles fracture and sent them home with some painkillers and advised to ice and elevate. Kate tried to tough it out, only taking the medication when Elias begged her. He couldn't sleep if she was not also asleep. Her arm had healed, but that first dose of opiates had changed her mind forever. He hadn't known for months. How was he to know the signs? She just started acting strangely, more energetic, even agitated. She stopped going to painting classes. It seemed like every meal was either macaroni and cheese or rice and beans, and there was never any money, even for little things. When he discovered her addiction, it seemed a small thing. The Church of Scientology had a great program, Narconon. They worked it together. They believed completely what the founder said. An individual is basically good. That he is responsible for his own condition, and that anyone can improve their condition if given a workable way to do so. The program had vitamins and minerals to keep the body strong, exercise, sauna time, and adequate sleep. Drug-free withdrawal. And it had worked. The residential program in Clearwater, Florida, was amazing. It had taken Kate only 10 weeks to complete. He did everything he could to make her return home a safe landing. All was right in his world again. He'd never known what happened that night, where she found the pills, and why she took them. He had come home late from his second job cleaning the church after hours to find her deeply asleep on the couch. Elias covered her up and crept upstairs. The next morning, he couldn't wake her. She was cold, so very cold. He was still trying to warm her hands and wake her when the ambulance arrived, when they declared her dead and packed up all the bustle and motion, taking her lifeless body with them. They emptied the center of his world. That was the first lonely morning of the rest of his life.